I'm supposed to grab something. Is it? Okay. Well, hello, everybody in the world, at home, and everybody here. As she said, I'm Chris Mars Baker. I just go by Chris. I used to tell my students, just call me Chris. You know, it's a whole lot easier than those hyphenated names. I wanted to start this afternoon with a song that I've heard years ago, and every time I've heard it, I want to cry. But it's an important thing to be aware of. So if you can listen very closely to the words. Can you hear it at home?
The little boy went first day in school. He got some crayons and he started to draw. He put colors all over the paper, for colors was what he saw. And the teacher said, "What you doing?"
Oh, I'm so sorry. I don't even know how to stop YouTube once it starts like that. Let's try this again. It should pick up right where it left off. Except, here we go.
The teacher said, "What you doing, young man?" "I'm painting flowers," he said. She said, "Not the time for art, young man. And anyway, flowers are green and red. There's a time for everything, young man, and the way it should be done. You've got to show concern for everyone else, or you're not the only one." And she said, "Flowers are red, young man, and green leaves are green. There's no need to see flowers any other way than the way they always have been seen." But the little boy said, "There are so many colors in the rainbow, so many colors in the morning sun, so many colors in the flower, and I see every one." The teacher said, "You're sassy. There's ways that things should be. And you'll paint flowers the way they are. So repeat after me." And she said, "Flowers are red, young man, and green leaves are green. There's no need to see flowers any other way than the way they always have been seen." But the little boy said, "There are so many colors in the rainbow, so many colors in the morning sun, so many colors in the flower, and I see every one." The teacher told him in the corner, she said, "It's for your own good. And you won't come out till you get it right, and I'll be finding like you should." Well, finally he got lonely, tried a new thought, filled his head, and he went up to the teacher, and this is what he said. And he said, "Flowers are red, and green leaves are green. There's no need to see flowers any other way than the way they always have been seen." Time went by like it always does, and they moved to another town. And the little boy went to another school, and this is what he found. The teacher there was smiling. She said, "Painting should be done. And there was too many colors in the flower, so let's use every one." But that little boy painted flowers in green and red. And when the teacher asked him why. This is what he said. And he said, flowers are red and green leaves are green. There's no need to see flowers any other way than the way they always have been seen.
So a lot of us and children around the world, even more in other societies, are programmed from very young. And when they say, I see all the flowers in the rainbow and I see pink elephants, they go, elephants are gray. You know, it can't be, it isn't just the flowers. It's any time that we're telling new minds that see the world freshly, no, that's not the way it is. This is the way it is. And this is the way you should behave. And this is the way you should think. We are reaching for and teaching conformity. And schools have to, in many ways, do that, but some do it more than others. Obviously, there was a different school with a teacher that was more free and liberating, but by that time, the damage had been done. When you get to middle school, and I actually saw this when I taught Sunday school decades ago, ancient history. And I had the same kids for the 3rd grade and the 4th grade class. And in the 3rd grade, they danced and they did all the stuff we wanted them to do, and they were playing and joyful and happy and free. And they come in the very next year, and the little girls have sweaters and skirts and hose on, and the little boys are dressed a little more grown up, and they want to sit there and they don't want to dance and they don't want to play. And I'm going, 8 to 9? I wouldn't have expected it that soon. But so what happens to us then? We get into junior high, we get into high school, and we want to be accepted. You know, we've been taught conformity all those years. There's the fear of standing out and looking different, because people like to make fun of, especially kids, you know, they like to make fun of other kids if they're different. Are they overweight? Are they too skinny? Are they too tall? Do they have large ears? Or, you know, they make fun of each other. So we understand why people would be wanting to not stand out, because they're going to get teased. On the other hand, the danger is when we shut ourselves down like the little boy did. We're shutting our souls down. And the irony of all of this is that when we're worried about what other people are going to think, and we try to be just like everybody else, and this is mostly in junior and high school, right? Some in college, but the ones who are the trendsetters are the very ones that say, no, I'm going to wear my hat this way, and I'm going to wear this kind of an outfit, and I'm going to wear holes in my jeans. And then you know what happens? Other kids start imitating them. And not only do other kids start imitating them and following them because they seem to have confidence when everyone else doesn't seem to have confidence. And so we're going to follow the guy that has confidence. But then the scouts go around to the different high schools. They've said as much. And they look for the trendsetters, and then they create designs, fashion designs that imitate those kids, and they sell them at the stores in the mall. And pretty soon everyone is acting, once again, conformity to the new style. And the only one that's really expressing themselves is the original trendsetter. And everyone else is an imitation. When we do that, and you know, once you get out of high school, it doesn't really stop. If you watch the way, if you go to church, what is everybody else wearing? How formal a church is this? Can I get away with jeans and a t-shirt, or maybe I should wear slacks and a nicer shirt? You know, we're always watching. Are we going to fit in, or are we going to stand out in some awkward way? That self-consciousness, we're shutting down our soul. We're shutting down our soul. And where that gets very dangerous is when we shut down our faith in our own opinions. How many times are you in a group and people kind of don't want to answer, don't want to give an opinion until they hear what other people have to say, to see if what they think is going to be too far out of place? Or maybe they really don't know what to think, so they're waiting to see what everybody else seems to be thinking. And then they'll say, yeah, I agree with that. That goes all the way back to childhood. Or have faith in our own perceptions, like the little boy. He saw all the colors in the rainbow till he was told it was wrong. And he would be isolated if he didn't give up his perception in favor of the one the teacher had. I know so many students that say, I'm here to psych out the teacher, give them the answers they want on the test, and then get on with my life. Not everybody can do that. So perceptions, we've got to be able to trust our opinions. We've got to be able to trust our perceptions. And we also shut down our creativity when we do that. So if you're afraid of what other people are going to think, if you're afraid of other people's opinions, then you shut down your own creativity because somebody might think you're weird. I think the most dangerous of all, though, and this happens to a lot of people, is that we don't trust our own feelings. How many of you say, I didn't want to feel like that, I don't like feeling like that, but I can't stop feeling like that? Have you ever had that experience in your life? We all have. It's just human nature. I didn't want to say that, but I said it again. You know, you go home and the old patterns at home kick in, and then you find yourself reacting in the ways you used to react, but you promised yourself you weren't going to react this way this time. Well, that partly comes from not trusting your feelings. Some parents will say, oh, you don't really feel like that. Now, how many times does a child need to hear that before they start to say, I don't? Mom and dad are authority figures. I don't feel like this. I did. I thought I did. Or anger is not an acceptable emotion in this house. I've known a lot of people that grew up with that one. Anger is not an acceptable emotion in this house. So if you're angry, you just go to your room until you get over it. So you grow up to be an adult that can't accept anger in yourself. You shut down your soul. When we doubt the validity of our feelings, it's a very dangerous thing because our feelings are our guidance system. If we're upset, then we need to tweak our perception. There's something about the way we're looking at it that is feeling threatened, we're feeling justified, we're feeling any number of things, unloved, frustrated. And if we tell ourselves, no, I'm not really angry. I'm not angry. I shouldn't be angry. We're shutting down our soul. Because those feelings are saying there's something off here. Pay attention to it. Either I need to look at this differently, and that'll bring me peace. Or maybe there really is something here that I need to look at more closely. Maybe things aren't as they appear to be. and my intuition is telling me something. We don't want to doubt the validity of our feelings. Now, we're taught in science of mind, we're taught in a lot of New Age philosophies that negative thoughts are going to attract more negative stuff to us. And so we want to be more positive. We want to speak positive. We want to think positive. And we do. A Course in Miracles says the universe justifies our feelings. So if we hold on to negative feelings for very long, the universe will give us more to feel that way about. It's kind of like the parent that says, if you're angry now and you don't behave yourself, I'm going to give you something to be angry about, you know, or if you're upset, I'm going to give you something to be upset about. The universe sort of does that. If you hold on to those feelings, whatever they may be, for very long, the universe will say, oh, you're upset. We'll give you some more things to be upset about. So we have every reason to want to shift our feelings away from the negative, but we don't do it by denying it. I'm not upset. I'm not angry. I'm not afraid. I'm not afraid. No. What's going to happen when you do that? Either it's going to come out explosively later on down the line, or you'll make yourself sick and it'll come out as disease. If we, and what's really going on a lot of times for people in our movement is that I can't be a spiritual person if I'm angry. That it's not becoming of a person, a student of science of mind or a student of A Course in Miracles. It's not appropriate for a practitioner. It's not appropriate for a minister. The shouldn't, it's not appropriate, I'm not being spiritual, is a trap of the ego, and it will never get us where we want to go. It doesn't go away, it only builds up. And if we've been taught to doubt the validity of our own feelings, I shouldn't feel that way, I'm being ungrateful. I shouldn't feel that way, I'm being childish. I shouldn't feel that way, I'm being overly suspicious. You fill in the blank, right? People can get so hung up on trying to do that to themselves. It's simply an indication that something somewhere is off. The fact is, you do feel that way. Trust yourself and respect yourself, and then deal with it head on. Now, most feelings are triggered by perception. So that's why the Course in Miracles spends a whole year retraining you on your perceptions. If I perceive threat, then there's no way I'm not going to feel threatened. But if I can deal with it there, not at the feelings will change immediately if you shift the way you're looking at it. If I can look at this in a way that I don't feel threatened, then fear, anxiety, the rest of it goes away. Who's the best source for another way of looking at things? Right? If we go within and we say, God, show me another way of looking at this, and we really, really don't want to hold on to whatever it is that's making us upset, we will receive a new way of looking at it. And usually that's the point at which you say to yourself, oh, well, if that's what happened, it's no big deal. It's amazing how fast the feeling goes away when you shift the glasses you're wearing, when you shift the way you're looking at it. We must start there, be honest with ourselves, and then ask God or Spirit for another way of looking at this that will bring peace. Now, they said in the Bible that Jesus said, be as a little child. Think about what children do before they go to school anyway. They play, they laugh, they cry, they get angry, they punch, and it's all gone. They imagine, they sing, they dance, they express whatever is inside of themselves that needs to be released, and then they're ready to go on to the next thing. As adults, we have to remember to release our inner child. The one that got caged when we were in school. The one that got caged when we started worrying about what everybody else thinks about us, or would think about what we were doing, or what we were wearing, or what we were saying, or what. Who cares? My mother was a wonderful example to me when we were little kids and we'd rake up a pile of leaves. My brother and I would jump in the leaves, and so would Mom. She would ride her bike and he'd be in the basket and I'd be on the back seat holding my little legs as far apart as I could to keep them out of the spokes. Mom let her inner child show all the time. She was singing constantly. And if she was upset, she let her feelings be shown, but she didn't dwell on it. She didn't repress it. She just, she was never mean. But if we needed a swat on the rear end, we got one. Very rarely from her, more often from Dad, but still. So when I turned 70, I decided I was going to have a party. And I asked everybody to come be a kid again with me. And so I said, bring your favorite comfort food from childhood. And then I asked Walita to bring brownies. And she brought a lot of brownies. People had hot dogs. People had, what all was there? Candy, popcorn, ice cream. We had the ice cream that you used to get in the little cartons. Well, just a lot of comfort food on the table. And then I had them playing games, and I had somebody recording my party. And it's really cute because in the middle, I had these buckets of M&Ms. And nobody was really doing anything with them. They had food on the table, and they were sitting and they were talking and and then I started a bingo game, and Dell was the one that, said be, only instead of numbers, I had be happy or be, what other? Awake. And as what shows on the film is that I said, now all those M&Ms in the canisters are to cover your numbers. So everybody took out wads of M&Ms out of the middle, and he would start calling out the stuff, and they're reading their cards, and they're putting it down, and they're putting it down, and then they're eating some more. It's just too cute. They got into their child. We were dancing. We had the paper plate dance, and people in their 60s and 70s were, racking around with the paper plates. It was beautiful to see that so many adults could let down their hair, let down their adultness, and just be a kid again. And people went home more or less exhilarated. We were freeing the soul again. Play, dance, things like that releases endorphins. We need it. We need it. So the next time somebody says, oh, you want to come out and dance? And you feel yourself like, oh, I don't know, I don't dance. Say, where's that coming from? Everybody's soul knows how to dance. Are you a slave to time? I don't have time for this. Are you a slave for I've got more important things to do? Or are you just afraid of what other people are going to think? And let that one go. Let your soul be free to express, to be, take time to play, and to see all the colors in the rainbow. So on the tables, you have the chorus to the song we just did. And Brad's going to hold it up online for the people at home, so you can sing along with us now. For yes. Okay. So you remember the tune? It was pretty easy, right? I'll get it. Let him get the words up on the screen first. We'll do it 3 times, and each time with more and more and more enthusiasm. Okay. There are so many colors in the rainbow, so many colors in the morning sun, so many colors in the flowers, and I see everyone. Again, so many colors in the rainbow, so many colors in the morning sun, so many colors in the flowers, and I see everyone. One more time. There are so many colors in the rainbow, so many colors in the morning sun, so many colors in the flowers, and I see everyone. Yes. Yes. Okay. So we're going to have a little discussion after that. So he usually wants to shut it off.